Hello students, today we are going to learn the poem Where Do All the Teachers Go? Okay, so for a little child, a teacher is very special. Okay, it is difficult for a small child to think of his or her teacher as an ordinary person. So, similarly, this small kid who is the narrator of the poem, he also thinks that are my teachers an ordinary person? Aren't they a special one? So, first I will recite the poem. Where do all the teachers go? Where do all the teachers go when it's 4 o'clock? Do they live in houses and do they wash their socks? Do they wear pajamas and do they watch TV? And do they pick their noses the same as you and me? Do they live with other people? Have they mums and dads? And were they ever children? And were they ever bad? Did they ever never spell right? Did they ever make mistakes? Were they punished in the corner if they pinched the chocolate flakes? Did they ever lose their hymns book? Did they ever leave their greens? Did they scribble on the desktop? Did they wear old dirty jeans? I will follow one back home today. I will find out what they do. Then I will put it in a poem that they can read to you. Okay, so once again I'll recite. Do recite along with me. Where do all the teachers go? Where do all the teachers go when it's 4 o'clock? Do they live in houses and do they wash their socks? Do they wear pajamas and do they watch TV? And do they pick their noses the same as you and me? Do they live with other people? Have they mums and dads? And were they ever children? And were they ever bad? Did they ever never spell right? Did they ever make mistakes? Were they punished in the corner if they pinched the chocolate flakes? Did they ever lose their hymn books? Did they ever leave their greens? Did they scribble on the desktops? Did they wear old dirty jeans? I'll follow one back home today. I will find out what they do. Then I will put it in a poem that they can read to you. Peter Dixon. So, in the first stanza, where do all the teachers go when it is 4 o'clock? Do they live in houses and do they wash their socks? The children wonders and questions where all the teachers go after the school hours. When it is 4 o'clock, he wants to know if, like any other ordinary human being, they live in house, wash their socks, means do they also do all the routine work like other people? So this is the question that is arising. Second stanza. Do they wear pajamas and do they watch TV? And do they pick their noses the same as you and me? Pajamas here is used for clothes. Pick their noses, an activity to waste time. Poking and inserting finger in the nose to clear boogers means dried mucus. The children wants to know if their teacher wear the common pants or the pajamas that they also wear, that the children also wear, and watch TV like them. Do they also clean their noses the way other people do and waste their time? So it basically means that poking the nose means they waste their time and they clean up their nose, okay, the mucus, dried mucus in their nose and pass the time or kill the time like the ordinary people. Do they live with other people? Have they moms and dads? And were they ever children and were they ever bad? The Further, now the children wonders by asking if they are also surrounded by people, if they also have parents and children like us to live with. Did they commit any mistakes or did anything wrong when they were children? So all these questions are coming on a children's mind because the children thinks that his or her teacher is a very unique and special person in their life who does extraordinary work. But these teachers are also an ordinary person who does the daily day-to-day activities, that is the ordinary activities like the human being. Moving on to the fourth stanza. Did they ever never spell right? Did they ever make mistakes? Were they punished in the corner if they pinched the chocolate flakes? Now he wants to know if they also made mistakes or were even punished for stealing the chocolates or doing any silly or naughty works in their school days or in their home. So all the naughtiness which the students do, did their teachers did or did their teachers do? This student or this children or the child is imagining that whether my teacher have done all these mischievous things which I as a student do. So fifth stanza. Did they ever lose their hymn books? Did they ever leave their greens? Did they scribble on the desktops? Did they wear old dirty jeans? So here scribbling means draw or write something that is not readable, means cannot be read. The tender mind is also bothered to know if the teacher also ever lost their religious books and said no to the green vegetables to eat. That is, they do not want to eat the green vegetables. Did they say no ever? Okay. And did they also waste time by scribbling on the table, means by drawing on the table, by scratching on the table, and wear torn and old jeans which are very dirty? So all these are imagined and all these questions are coming to the student's mind, and he thinks that his teacher might not have done all these activities or maybe have done it. So he is questioning it. Moving on to the sixth stanza. I will follow one back home today. I will find out what they do. Then I will put it in a poem that they can read to you. Now what he will do? Now the narrator or the student or the small child, to overcome his curiosity, the child decides to follow or spy his teacher on his way home after school. Once he is clear about everything, he would also like to compose or write a poem about it and think that the teacher would read that poem to his students. So he will follow the teacher and then he will see that exactly if the teacher does the things or not. Okay, students, so there are 6 stanzas and this poem was written by Peter Dixon. Peter John Dixon was born on 30 April 1944 and is a former England international rugby union player. Okay, his place of birth is what? England. Okay, so Peter Dixon is a poet who wrote the poem Where Do All the Teachers Go? So the simple summary once again I will repeat. Teachers are very special for the students. The poet does not think that his teachers are ordinary people. The poet wonders, or the narrator wonders, where his teachers go after 4 o'clock. He keeps asking too many questions, such as whether the teacher live in their houses, wash their socks like an ordinary person. The poet wonders if the teacher wear pajamas or something else. The poet is not sure whether his teachers watch TV like any ordinary person and clean their noses with the little finger. The teacher wants to know if his teachers live with other people, such as their mother and father. The poet desires to know if these teachers were once children and were bad as kids. He wonders if his teachers were punished for making mistakes, like writing wrong spellings, and were ordered to stand in the corner as a punishment if they ate chocolate without permission. According to the poet, his teachers are perfect. He thinks that perhaps his teachers have never lost their hymn books. Hymn books means holy books, the books with all the bhajans, and never spread or even never denied for the cooked green vegetables like the poet or the narrator. The poet wonders if his teachers have ever scribbled on the decks and wrote dirty and or dirty clothes. Okay? So now he find a way to get his answer. Now he is searching a way to get his answer. He intends to follow one of his teachers to find out the truth. The poet will write about it later so that the teacher could read it out to the other children in a class. Okay, so this was the question raised by the student to a teacher, that whether the teacher does that or not. And now what I am doing, what the poet wanted me to do, the poet wanted me to read out this poem to you all and let you know that teachers are also ordinary human beings. They also learn along with you. Okay, so they are the co-learners in the learning processes. So they might have been mischievous during their childhood days. But for a small kid and for a small children of nursery and KG, teachers play a very important role in their life, and they think that their teacher is a very special one. Okay? So with this, we come to the end of our today's video, and we end the poem, "Where Do All the Teachers Go?" here. Thank you.